Hey, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to look at somatic tracking, one of the most powerful practices there is for calming the nervous system and reducing chronic pain and symptoms, as well as fear-based patterns in the body. So if you're experiencing your nervous system in survival mode, like you're in fight, flight, freeze, and you know that you need to get into the parasympathetic mode, this practice is going to help. It creates a sense of safety. It removes a lot of the danger signals that are going off, that are keeping that nervous system stuck. Even though it has the word somatic in it, which means body, it's also a brain rewiring practice because it teaches the brain that you are no longer in danger. And the wonderful thing about the brain is it's so adaptable and it can create new neural pathways as it learns new things. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Amari Love, a writer, mind-body practitioner and somatic coach, and I'm sharing everything I've learned on my own healing journey from decades of chronic illness. Somatic tracking is at its core a technique to bring awareness to the sensations in the body and to lessen fear around those symptoms and sensations. The theory behind somatic tracking is that the dysregulated nervous system is having an incorrect interpretation of sensations in the body. So the brain is reading sensations as dangerous when in fact the body is not in any danger at all. These sensations could be tingling, numbness, changes in heart rate, discomfort, heat, adrenaline, pressure, tightness. And once the brain believes it senses danger, it creates more and more of an alarm. The brain can then create more tension, more hypervigilance, more symptoms, and more fear. So this quite often can become a loop. And somatic tracking is a wonderful technique to interrupt that loop. Your brain is not trying to hurt you, it is trying to protect you from these danger signals. It just might have become a little bit too good at protecting. It might just be too much on high alert. And once you understand that, everything can change. Because what the brain can learn, the brain can unlearn. And what happens over time is that patterns change and then symptoms change. So many of us with chronic pain or chronic symptoms have, of course, a negative slant on what's happening with our body and what's happening with these sensations. And then we've built up a lot of fear over time. If you think about your beliefs right now, do you think that you are going to get better? Do you think that the damage you have inside of you is permanent? Do you think that you have any control over whether you have symptoms or not? Do you think that there's something very, very wrong? Because when I was in chronic pain and chronic symptoms, I believed all of those things. And I really thought there was no hope for me. And I didn't know it then. But those thoughts of mine, those beliefs, plus fear were creating a loop. So the negative thoughts created more fear, which created more negative thoughts, which created more fear. And that was going on, and it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. So we're going to work with beliefs and we're going to give messages of safety during this practice. And I want to give you a tip. It's okay if you don't believe these words that we're going to work with today, if you don't believe the messages. One thing that's very difficult to comprehend is that we have to start taking these steps even when we don't think they're going to work. And another thing we need to be aware of is that it's more effective if one can drop all goals. That is a very difficult thing to do because naturally your goal is to have less pain, less symptoms, and a better life straight away. And that was my goal too. So naturally you want to recover from whatever you're going through. But the more you can have less pressure on yourself, or the more you can reduce any urgency, it does make these practices more powerful. So in a way, the first thing we might say to ourselves to help us do that is, whatever happens is whatever happens. And if you can, you could say, and I'm okay with that. So we're going to do the somatic tracking exercise. I'm going to guide you through it. And this is going to help your system become calm and feel more regulated. And at that time, that's when you're most open to receive new information. And it will be easiest for your brain to really powerfully rewire. So that's when I'm going to give you some affirmations around safety to work with. You just need to be sitting comfortably or lying down comfortably as best you can. And I invite you to bring your attention to your breathing. So notice the sensation of air as it goes in through your nose and it passes the back of your throat down into your chest, filling your lungs and going down towards your belly. Can you notice if the air has a temperature? Perhaps it's cool or warm. And what you're doing when you notice the feeling of air going in and out is you're bringing attention to the inside of your body. So breathing in, breathing out. You can choose to breathe in and out through your nose, or as I prefer, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can gently slow your breathing just a little by taking a very slightly longer in-breath and putting a pause at the end of your out-breath. Slower in-breath. Pause at the end of the exhale. 1, 2, breathing in. And then let that go. Allow your breathing to stay at its regular rhythm, bringing your attention to the sensation of air going down again into your chest and coming back up and out. Can you feel from the inside where the air goes in and comes back up and out? Can you feel any sensations in your chest? Can you feel any sensations in your solar plexus? The air is traveling down this center line. Can you feel it? Can you feel the swell of your belly? As you breathe in and out, your belly rises and falls. Just like this, your attention is inside of your body. You may find this easier if you close your eyes or soften your gaze. See if you can bring the attention to the inside of your body where the breath is going down, coming up, with curiosity. See if you can explore anything right now that's happening in your chest, in your solar plexus, in your belly, perhaps up in your throat. Noticing everything that's happening along this center line of your breathing. Really see if you can place your attention there. It may be very difficult because sometimes there are so many other sensations happening in the body that are grabbing our attention. That's okay. Can you now bring your awareness to the whole of your body? Almost zooming out to get an overview, noticing where you have symptoms, where you have other sensations that may or may not be symptoms, and holding all of it in your awareness right now for a few moments. It may be very uncomfortable. It may be very painful. See if you can notice if there is anywhere in your body right now that is not painful or that is neutral. Perhaps an area that is not giving you a huge amount of discomfort or distress. And perhaps you can bring your attention to rest on that area. And now bring your attention to these words. So allow yourself to let go of focusing on the body. Listen to these words and know that with mind-body conditions, the physical sensations you are experiencing are messages. They are not signs of danger or of structural damage. Perhaps you might like to repeat to yourself silently in your mind this affirmative statement of safety. I am safe right now in this moment. I am safe right now in this moment. Now it's okay if resistance comes up. It's okay if you don't believe these words. But this is the beginning of the brain retraining. We're just allowing whatever comes up to come up. So, noticing your own reaction to those words is also helpful. Breathing in and breathing out. There is no wrong way to do this exercise. No matter what you are experiencing right now, that is valid. You may notice symptoms actually increase at the beginning of doing a somatic tracking exercise. That is very typical. So if you are able to give your attention once more to any sensations in your body that are calling to your attention, noticing where they are, noticing anything that's uncomfortable, seeing if you can breathe towards it. So on one in-breath, you would breathe in and send that to anything that's particularly uncomfortable, and allow your breath in your imagination to form a hug, an embrace around that painful area. So you breathe in, send it to be a hug that wraps around the painful area. And if you are really struggling today, if you have discomfort everywhere, you can breathe that hug to go around your whole body. Breathing in, breathing out. Allowing the sensations to be there and noticing them with curiosity. See if you can look at this sensation as though perhaps it's going to give you a message, rather than it's just come here to hurt me. I know it feels like it has just come here to hurt me. But by looking at it, by giving it your attention, you are already doing wonderful healing work. Breathing in and breathing out. And now I'm going to give you another affirmation, a message to send to your system of safety. My symptoms are temporary and can be reversed. Try repeating that. My symptoms are temporary and can be reversed. Good job. So right now, you know that your system is safe in the sense that you're not being chased by a tiger right now. So you're giving that reassurance to the brain. If you would like to, come back and visit with me in this practice again and use it regularly. Please let me know in the comments if it has helped you, what reactions you're getting, if it helps lessen fear, if it produced any emotional reaction. Sometimes that can happen. No matter what you're experiencing, it's really valid. It's unique to every person. Please feel free to come back and visit with me again to do it regularly. And I'm going to put on the screen for you a 20-minute somatic tracking meditation that I made so that you can just rest and have a very easy way to do this for longer if you want to try that. Thank you for being here today and doing this. It means a lot. Take good care of yourself now.